Hello students, good morning. First of all, I like to welcome to my live class. This is my first class. So as you all are preparing for this CUET exam, so I think you all know this what is about this exam, right? So if you crack this exam or if you clear this exam, you will be able to get admission to the colleges under central universities. So I am your history ma'am. My name is Rinku, or you can say me Rinku ma'am. So basically, I want to discuss something about the history course that will be needed for you for clearing this exam. So তোমালোকে সব জানাই সবাই জানাই CUET exam কি হয়, right? So তোমালোকে এইটো exam clear কৰিলে বা পাস কৰিলে তোমালোকে সেন্ট্রাল ইউনিভার্সিটিৰ আন্ডাৰত যিবোৰ কলেজ আছে সেইবোৰত এডমিশ্যন পাবা। So মই তোমালোকৰ হিষ্ট্ৰী মেম। So মই তোমালোকক বিশেষ আজি তোমালোকক অনলি হিষ্ট্ৰী কোৰ্সটোৰ কথা ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ। First of all, I like to say that, or I want to say that since people used to say that this subject is very tough or boring, please don't think in that way. Actually, this subject is neither tough nor boring. If you study systematically and in an organized, planned manner, it will be very easy, and seriously, this subject is very scoring. Please don't get afraid. Remove all misconception from your brain. তোমালোকে নাভাবিবে যে এইটো সাবজেক্ট বহুত টাফ হয়। তোমালোকে যে প্ৰপাৰ অৰ্গানাইজ প্ল্যানিং মতে পঢ়া, দেন এইটো সাবজেক্ট তোমালোকে স্কোৰ কৰিবলৈ বহুত সহজ হৈ যাব। So without scoring, without this one wasting time, let's move on to my class. So as you all know, history. In history, the first this one's content will be about Harappan civilization. So in this chapter, basically you have to study how this civilization came to light regarding Mr. Alexander Cunningham and other British Indian archaeologists who had did extensive research to trace the story of Harappan civilization. In this chapter also you have to study what are the activities of the people, how the people used to live, what were its culture, dress habit, religion, and how this civilization declined, or what are the characteristics of this civilization, what were the occupation of the people, how they lived, who were the kings and who were the queens, then regarding the dress material, then regarding the religion. These all things you have to study. Is not very tough. And also you have to study how this civilization declined. Harappan civilization. So ইয়াত তোমালোকে কি পঢ়িব লাগিব, এইটো civilization কেনেকৈ আৰম্ভণি হ'ল, ইয়াৰ আঁৰত কোন আছিল, এলেক্সেণ্ডাৰ কানিংহাম আৰু বাকি ব্ৰিটিছ ইণ্ডিয়ান আৰ্কিঅলজিষ্ট, এইবোৰৰ কথা তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব। আৰু লগতে ইয়াৰ বৈশিষ্ট্যসমূহ, কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্স, এই চিভিলাইজেশ্যনটো ক'ৰ পৰা আৰম্ভ হৈছিল, কিমানখিনি ফ্লাৰিছ হৈছিল, ইয়াত চিটিজবোৰ কি চিটিজ আছিল, হোৱাট ৱেৰ দ্য চিটিজ অফ দ্য চিভিলাইজেশ্যন। দেন আৰু তোমালোকে কি পঢ়িব লাগিব, ইয়াৰ মানুহবোৰ আগতে কেনেকৈ আছিল, ইয়াৰ ছ'চাইটি সমাজখন কেনেকুৱা আছিল, বা ধৰ্মীয় ৰীতি নীতিবোৰ কেনেকুৱা আছিল, আৰু লাষ্টলি এই চিভিলাইজেশ্যনটোৰ পতন কেনেকুৱা হ'ল পতন। এইবোৰ জাষ্ট স্মল কজেছ তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব, ঠিক আছে। So I hope you understood the first topic. This is nothing else. You only just have to study how this civilization started, then about its characteristics regarding cities, how this civilization flourished, in which parts you will get this civilization. Then lastly you have to study its decline, how this civilization declined, right? So next you have to study political and economic history, means how inscriptions tells about the stories. See, you see, in this chapter basically you have to study about the Mauryas and Guptas, who were the founder of the Mauryas, who were the founder of the Guptas, and how these Guptas and Mauryas strengthened his position, right? How this Mauryas under Chandragupta Maurya and Ashoka, how this Mauryan dynasty expanded, then what were its contact with the foreign countries, then regarding the religious belief of the Mauryas, regarding the administration, most importantly the book written by Chanakya, this book is Arthashastra. These all things you have to study, means a whole about the political, economic and administration of the Mauryas, as well as that same thing of the Guptas. And also you have to study why the Guptas age is known as the golden age. So you have to study all these things with the help of inscription. This is inscription. Inscriptions were the written materials. They were written on stones, some were written on there's a copper plates. So whatever things you find from by those inscriptions, you have to study the political and economic as well as administration of the Mauryas as well as Guptas. And also one most important thing you have to study, that is the land grants. You see this one, early rulers, they used to make huge land grants to the Brahmins. Why the rulers made those land grants? What were its significance? What were its relations? Those all things you have to study. And I had prepared a PDF in such a way which will help you to understand all these things in details. Also you have to study about the edicts, then about the stupas which Ashoka and other rulers built. This is not very tough. Means when I will take online classes later on, I will explain all these things in detail. So inscription by Hilalipi. Hilalipi ৰজাবোৰৰ কথা কি কয় সেইটো তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব। এই চ্যাপ্টাৰটোৰ বিশেষকৈ তোমালোকে পলিটিক্যাল ইকনমিক এণ্ড এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনটো পঢ়িব লাগিব কিহৰ মৌৰ্য আৰু গুপ্তাসকলৰ। মৌৰ্যৰ ৰজা ফাউণ্ডাৰ কোন আছিল তোমালোকে সবাই জানো অশোকৰ কথা। সো অশোকা কিয় ইমান বিখ্যাত হ'ল, অশোকৰ ধৰ্ম কি আছিল, তেওঁৰ ধৰ্মটো কিয় সলাব লগা হ'ল, আগতে অশোকৰ ধৰ্ম কি আছিল, পিছত কিয় চেঞ্জ কৰিলে বুদ্ধিজিমলৈ, কি এনেকুৱা কি কাৰণ হৈছিল যাৰ ফলত তেওঁ ধৰ্মটো চেঞ্জ কৰি পেলালে। নেক্সট তোমালোকে গুপ্তাসকলৰ কথা পঢ়িব লাগিব। গুপ্তাৰ দিনবোৰ কিয় গোল্ডেন এজ বুলি কোৱা হয়, গুপ্তাসকলৰ সোসাইটিটো কেনেকুৱা আছিল বা লিটাৰেচাৰ ডেভেলপমেণ্ট কেনেকুৱা হ'ল, তাৰপিছত গুপ্তাসকলৰ বৈদেশিক সম্পৰ্কবোৰ কেনেকুৱা আছিল। সো এইবোৰ সব তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব কিহৰ থ্ৰু দি ইনস্ক্ৰিপশ্যন বা শিলালিপি। আগন্তুক যেতিয়া মই তোমালোক অনলাইন ক্লাছ ল'ম তেতিয়া তোমালোকক শিলালিপি বুলিৰ কথা ভালকৈ বুজাই দিম। এনেকৈ পিডিএফটো এনেকৈ চিষ্টেমেটিকলি বনোৱা হৈছে যাৰ ফলত তোমালোকে প্ৰত্যেক পইণ্ট ডিটেইলছত বুজি পাবা। আৰু যদি কিবা বুজি নোপোৱা অবভিয়াছলি তোমালোকে BPS কণ্টেক্ট কৰিবা, তোমালোকে পাই যাবা। সো নেক্সট ইজ about next is about social histories using Mahabharata. So you all know Mahabharata is a very big epic, a very great epic. So you have to study little bit about Mahabharata and also have to study how kingship, how family started, how the head became the or you can say who were the head of the family, how society emerged, or what are the caste of the people, caste, headship, patriarchy, matrilineal, these all things of study. I repeat, in this chapter basically you have to study what? This is headship. This headship is the family headship. This headship means the family headship, who were the head of the family. And as you all know, at that time the head of the family was only male, means father. After father, son. Why only the male? Why not female? Then you have to study kingship. Kingship means relations, blood relations, right? Then you have to study about the caste and class. So in this chapter to study all basically these things and also little bit about Mahabharata. You just have to know who were the composer of the verses Mahabharata, who wrote the Mahabharata, what were the stories. As you all know, this Mahabharata is about what, and who were the two contending parties in a great war, right? And also you have to study about a bit about this one Bhagavad Gita, who were the propounder, means why Bhagavad Gita was famous. তোমালোকে এই চ্যাপ্টার বেসিক্যালি কি পঢ়িব লাগিব মহাভাৰতৰ কথা। সো মহাভাৰতখন কোনে লিখিছিল, কেনেকৈ ষ্টাৰ্টিং হ'ল, মহাভাৰতৰ যুদ্ধৰ কথা, কিয় যুদ্ধখন হৈছিল, ৰাইট, এণ্ড যুদ্ধৰ পাৰ্টি কোন কোন আছিল, কিয় গীতাখন ফেমাছ হৈ গ'ল। তাৰপিছত তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব হেডশ্বিপ, কিংশ্বিপ, কাষ্ট আৰু ক্লাছ। সেই সময়ত তোমালোকৰ ঘৰৰ মুৰব্বী বা হেড অকল মানে অকল মেল, কিয় ফিমেল নহয়, ফিমেল কিয় নহয়, অনলি মেল কিয় হয়। নেক্সট কিংশ্বিপ মানে ব্লাড ৰিলেশ্যন, সম্পৰ্ক। নেক্সট কাষ্ট, জাতি, ক্লাছ, এইবোৰৰ কথা বুজিব লাগিব। তাৰপিছত আৰু এটা কথা বুজিব লাগিব, সেই সময়ত ছোৱালীবোৰৰ মানে কোনো ৰাইট নাছিল নৰ্মেলি প্ৰপাৰ্টিৰ ওপৰত, পৈতৃক সম্পত্তিৰ ওপৰত ছোৱালীবোৰৰ কোনো ৰাইট নাছিল। one thing you have to study in this another aspect is, you see, during that time girls don't have any right over father's property. Once she was married off, then she cannot claim any claim over her father's property. All the property belongs to the son. Why not the girls, right? And also you can have to study, girls were given only some amount of property during marriage, that is Stridhan. Women or the girls were given only some amount of property during marriage. This is Stridhan, and this Stridhan you will find some amount of jewelry and some amount of money. This is all about, right? Apart from that, women don't have any claim over the property. সেই সময়ত কি হৈছিল, ছোৱালীবোৰে একো পৈতৃক সম্পত্তি একো নাপাইছিল, ৰাইট? আৰু অনলি প্ৰপাৰ্টি কি পাইছিল, স্ত্ৰীধন। স্ত্ৰীধনত তেওঁলোকক বিয়াৰ সময়ত দিয়া হৈছিল। স্ত্ৰীধনত তোমালোকে কি পাবা, অনলি অকণমান অলংকাৰ, কাপোৰ কানি, বাকী আৰু অলপমান পইচা। ইয়াৰ উপৰি ছোৱালীবোৰে একো নাপাইছিল। চ' নেক্সট তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব কাষ্ট আৰু ক্লাছ, জাতি বা জাতি, কাষ্ট, ক্লাছ এইবোৰ কেনেকৈ আহিল, কিংশ্বিপ বা কুল, বংশ এইবোৰ কেনেকৈ আহিল, কেনেকৈ ষ্টাৰ্টিং হ'ল, ৰাইট? চ' এইবোৰৰ কথা তোমালোকে এইখন চেপ্টাৰত পঢ়িব লাগিব। বিশেষ টান নহয়, মই তোমালোকক বুজাই যাম, বাছ তোমালোকে চিষ্টেমেটিকলি ক্লাছবোৰ এটেণ্ড কৰি যাবা, মিছ নকৰিবা যাতে, কাৰণ মিছ কৰিলে এই চেপ্টাৰবোৰ কি এটা চেপ্টাৰৰ লগত আনটা চেপ্টাৰ ৰিলেটেড হৈ আছে, ৰাইট? চ' তুমি যদি এটা ক্লাছ মিছ কৰা, নেক্সট চেপ্টাৰটো বুজিবলৈ অকণমান টান হ'ব, ঠিক আছে? চ' তোমালোকৰ মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা ৰিকুৱেষ্ট আছে যাতে তোমালোকে প্ৰত্যেক ক্লাছ এটেণ্ড কৰা। আৰু অভিয়াছলি যদি তোমালোকে অকণমান টান পোৱা বা অকণমান বুজাত দিগদাৰী হয় বা যদি প্ৰব্লেম পোৱা, অভিয়াছলি তুমি মোক কণ্টেক্ট কৰিবা। So next chapter is about Buddhism. So you see, Buddhism, at that time there emerged two religions, Jainism and Buddhism. But if you compare it, Buddhism became more famous because it went outside India, but Jainism remained within India. Why Buddhism became famous? Why Buddhism became famous? So you see, why Buddhism became famous? Who started Buddhist religion, or who was the founder of Buddhism? Then during that time, who were the preacher, founder, who started Buddhist religion? Who were the preachers? Preachers means the monks and nuns. Then during whose reign this Buddhism became very famous. As you all know, during the reign of Ashoka, then during his later rulers, this religion became famous. It even went outside India, like this one, Tibet, then China. It even went outside India. That is why this religion became famous. Why it became famous? Who were the kings? Due to whose initiative this religion became famous? And you all know this stupa, this Sanchi stupa. This stupa is very important regarding Buddhist religion. And also you have to study for settlement of the monks. This is monks. Monks were the preachers who preach Buddhist religion. So for their stay and fooding and lodging, Ashoka built many monasteries, many stupas for the monks. So you all have to study those things. And also you have to study a bit about what? Jainism. Who were the founders? Who were the 24 Tirthankaras? Tirthankaras, what are the principles of Buddhism? What were the principles of Jainism? Then you have to study about the differences between Jainism and Buddhism. So in this chapter you have to study basically these all things. First is regarding Buddhism, I want to tell you. First is who started Buddhist religion, or who was the founder of Buddhist religion. Then secondly you have to study during whose reign Buddhism became famous, right? Then thirdly you have to study the basic characteristics of Buddhism and Jainism. Same here in case of Jainism also, who started Jainism, then who were the 24 Tirthankaras, why this religion only remained within India, why did like Buddhism, why it did not spread outside India. Then you have to study about the 24 Tirthankaras. Then this one 24 Tirthankaras, then characteristics of Jainism, right, and also basic differences between Jainism and Buddhism. So in this chapter basically you have to study about all these things and also about this Sanchi Stupa, why this stupa is related to Buddhism. So এই chapter basically কি পঢ়িব লাগে বুদ্ধ ধৰ্ম আৰু জৈন ধৰ্ম. ফাৰ্ষ্ট টু হ'ল বুদ্ধ ধৰ্ম কেনেকা আৰম্ভণি হ'ল, এই আৰত কোন আছিল, বুদ্ধ ধৰ্মৰ characteristics বা বৈশিষ্ট্যসমূহ. দেন বুদ্ধ ধৰ্মৰ প্ৰচাৰকবোৰ কোন আছিল, কেনেকা প্ৰচাৰ কৰিছিল, আৰু সেই সময়ৰ কোন ৰজা আছিল যাৰ ফলত বুদ্ধ ধৰ্মটো বহুত ফেমাছ হৈ গ'ল. তোমালোকেতো জানাই বুদ্ধ ধৰ্মটো বিদেশো গৈ পাইছে, লাইক টিবেট, নেপাল, চাইনা. চ' এইবোৰ বাহিৰত গৈছে কেনেকা নৰ্মেল. চ' তোমালোকে জানাই অশোকা, হি ৱাজ এ গ্ৰেট কিং. চ' অশোকাটো তোমালোকৰ কথা জানাই, তেতিয়া অশোকা যেতিয়া ৰজা আছিল বুদ্ধ ধৰ্মটো বহুত প্ৰচাৰ হৈছিল আৰু বহুত বাৰ অশোকাৰ টাইমত বুদ্ধ ধৰ্মৰ মিটিংছো হৈছিল. চ' নেক্সট তোমালোকে ডিফাৰেঞ্চবোৰ পঢ়িব লাগিব জৈনিজম আৰু বুদ্ধিজম. চ' ইন চামাৰী তোমালোকে ক'ব গ'লে এইটো চেপ্টাৰ তোমালোকে কি পঢ়িব লাগিব, জৈনিজম আৰু বুদ্ধিজম কেনেকৈ আৰম্ভণি হ'ল, কোন আছিল ইয়াৰ প্ৰচাৰক কোন আছিল. তাৰপিছত ছেকেণ্ডলি তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব বুদ্ধিজম আৰু জৈনিজমৰ কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্স বা মূল বৈশিষ্ট্যসমূহ কি কি. থাৰ্ডলি তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব বুদ্ধিজমৰ নিচিনাকৈ জৈনিজম বিদেশ কিয় গৈ নাপালে, কিয় ইণ্ডিয়াতে থাকি গ'ল. আৰু লাষ্টলি তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব ডিফাৰেঞ্চেছ, বুদ্ধিজম আৰু জৈনিজমৰ ডিফাৰেঞ্চেছবোৰ. নেক্সট মেডিভেল ছ'চাইটি থ্ৰু ট্ৰেভেলাৰ্ছ একাউণ্ট. এইটো চেপ্টাৰ তোমালোকে খুবেই ইজি আৰু খুবেই ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং পাবা. মেডিভেল ছ'চাইটি মধ্যযুগ, মেডিভেল ছ'চাইটি মানে, আৰু এই মধ্যযুগত তোমালোকে চাবাচোন কিতাপত চাবা তোমালোকে বেছিভাগ ৰজাবোৰ আছিল মুছলিম ৰুলাৰ্ছ. চ' আৰু ট্ৰেভেলাৰ্ছবোৰ আছিল যিবোৰ মানে এই ৰজা নৰ্মেলি তোমালোকে চাবা মেডিভেল টাইমত কি হয়, কিছুমান মানুহে লাইক আৰেবিয়া বা টাৰ্কিৰ পৰা আহিছিল ভাৰতখন চাবলৈ, ফুৰিবলৈ আহিছিল. আৰু অহাৰ লগে লগে সিহঁতে কি এনে অহা নাছিল, সিহঁতে ঘূৰিছিল, ফুৰিছিল, থাকিছিল, আৰু সিহঁতে ইয়াত কি কি দেখিছিল সেইবোৰ চব সিহঁতে এখন বুক বা কিতাপত লিখি থৈ গৈছিল. চ' এইবোৰ একাউণ্টছ পঢ়ি কিনে আমি গম পাওঁ সেই দিনৰ সেই সমাজখন কেনেকুৱা আছিল, মানুহৰ লাইফষ্টাইলটো কেনেকুৱা আছিল, বা সেই সময়ৰ কোন চুলতান আছিল সেই সময়ৰ, আৰু চুলতানৰ লাইফষ্টাইল কেনেকুৱা আছিল, চুলতানৰ হেৰেম কেনেকুৱা আছিল, চুলতানৰ কাষ্ট বা প্ৰশাসনটো কেনেকুৱা আছিল, এইবোৰ চব বিষয়ে আমি ট্ৰেভেলাৰ্ছ একাউণ্টৰ পৰা বুজি পাওঁ. আৰু তোমালোকে এক্সামৰ কাৰণে কি কি একাউণ্ট পঢ়িব লাগিব, ইবান বাতুতাৰ একাউণ্ট পঢ়িব লাগিব. এইটো খুবেই ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং হয় আৰু বিশেষ টান নহয়. জাষ্ট তোমালোকে এইবোৰ এই ইবান বাতুতাৰ কিতাপখন কি আছিল সেইটো মনত ৰাখিব লাগিব. নেক্সট হেমিল্টনে কি লিখিছিল, হেমিল্টনৰ বুকখনৰ নাম কি আছিল, জাষ্ট অলপ কথা তোমালোকে মনত ৰাখিব লাগিব. চ' in this chapter you have to study about the traveler's account of medieval times. As you all know, in medieval times what happened, many travelers they entered India via northwest from Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Arab. Actually they want to travel India, they want to see India, they heard that India was very beautiful, very rich. So this prompted them to come to India. So they came to India, and when they came they also brought with them a notebook. They travel many places of India, and whatever they saw, everything they had recorded and very precisely in their own books. And these books were known as travelers' account. By reading these accounts, we can come to know how the society was. India's and at that time the age was medieval age. So society of medieval age, how it was, what was the lifestyle of the people, and also that Sultan. Suppose Ibn Battuta, he was a foreign traveler. When he came to India, who was the Sultan? How was his administration? How was his work? how was his harem. All those things we can come to this traveler's account, by studying traveler's account, it helps to understand about the society and sultan and also its work. And for your convenience and also for your exam, you have to study only the account of Ibn Battuta, Hamilton, right? So just you have to remember the book name written by Ibn Battuta and Hamilton. Means what were the books written? Only one books you have to remember, the most important books, the name you have to remember, and also in that book what you found by studying those books. Suppose the book written by Ibn Battuta, in that book you will find the society, how society was it good or was it bad? All those things we can find by studying those books. And also in those books we can come to know regarding the lifestyle of women. It is very important, because women, be it Hindus or Muslim, doesn't matter, they were neglected by the society, right? So and also they were not allowed to attend the school, they were kept covered. So regarding the lifestyle of the women, we can come to know by studying the account of this Ibn Battuta as well as Hamilton's account. I hope this is clear. And also remember, medieval society means the coming of the Muslim rulers, not this one, because in medieval society this system changed and the Muslim became very powerful. So you also have to study about the religious belief. At that time, since the rulers were Muslims, so many peoples were forcefully converted to Muslim religion. Why this was done, right? And how was the contemporary society at the time? What were the political relations? These all things you have to study. Seriously, I am saying this chapter is very easy, provided you study in a systematic way. Means you make a note on Ibn Battuta, you make a note on Hamilton, then you make a note on medieval society. If you study in that way, means which I will tell you in upcoming classes, when I will take your class, this all things I will tell you and this will help you to study properly. So let's move on to next slides. Next you see Bhakti and Sufi movement. Now you see Bhakti and Sufi movement. In medieval age, along with the Hindus, Muslims were also the rulers, right? So this Bhakti movement and Sufi movement emerged. Sufis were the religious people following Islam. So when they entered India, their main idea was to spread Islamic religion, right? So their main aim was to spread Islamic religion. In this chapter, basically to study why they want to spread Islamic religion, who were the preachers, right? Who were the preachers, why they came to India, and some of the preachers, they became very famous, like Nizamuddin Aulia. This preacher became very famous. Why he became famous? So all these things we study. What are the characteristics of Sufi movement? Then Bhakti movement. This Bhakti movement actually started in South India. In Bhakti movement, you will get two categories, Alwars and Nayanars. These were two divisions of Bhakti movement. And why there were two divisions, and who were the propagators of Bhakti movement? And you know, there were some females also, some women also in Bhakti movement. So you have to study about all these things. Now you see, Bhakti and Sufi tradition. মধ্যযুগত কি হৈছিল তোমালোকে মই আগতে কৈছো ৰজাবোৰ সুলতানবোৰ মুছলিম আছিল সো কি হল কিছুমান ৰিলিজিয়াস মাইন্ডেড মানুহ ফৰ এক্সাম্পল টাৰ্কি বা ইৰাণ ইৰাকৰ পৰা আহিছিল ভাৰতবৰ্ষলৈ কিয় আহিছিল যাতে ইছলাম ধৰ্মটো প্ৰচাৰ কৰিব পাৰে হিয়তক কোৱা হয় হিয়তক জেনেৰেলি কোৱা সুফিজ সো কিছুমান সুফি সেন্স বহুত ফেমাস হৈ গল ফৰ এক্সাম্পল নিজামুদ্দিন অলিয়া কিয় ফেমাস হল হেতৰ ক্যাৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্স বোৰ কি সুফি মানে বৈশিষ্ট্যসমূহ কি তাৰ পিছত আহি গল ভক্তি মুভমেন্ট আৰম্ভ হৈছিল সাউথ ইণ্ডিয়াৰ পৰা আৰু ভক্তি মুভমেন্ট দুটা ক্যাটাগৰী আছিল আলৱাৰ আৰু নায়ানাৰ্ছ এইবোৰ সব হিন্দু ধৰ্মৰ ঠিক আছে আৰু ইহঁতৰ ভগৱান আছিল বিষ্ণু and Shiva. So, Bhakti movement the divisions বোৰ জানিব লাগিব ইয়াৰ characteristics বোৰ জানিব লাগিব এই চেপ্টাৰত বেছি ইমান টান নহয় আৰু So, let's move on to next slide. Now you see regarding architecture of Hampi. Hampi is situated in South India and at that time the most important ruler of South India at that time was, as you all know, Krishnadeva Raya. This was the most important ruler of South India at that time and why he became famous. During his time you see many temples and palaces, cities were constructed. What were the basic characteristics of those constructions? Then also you another fact you have to study. First is characteristics of architecture, right? Then secondly what you have to study about agriculture. Now you see Krishnadeva Raya what he did apart from making the city develop with the help of temples, new buildings, apart from all those things he paid importance to agriculture because agriculture was a backbone of the economy. So second point is regarding agriculture. Why during his time why agriculture developed? You know during his time what he did, he constructed dam on Tungabhadra river so that it can provide water to the agricultural fields and also numerous and also this is agriculture and these characteristics. Thirdly you have to study about the temples. Constructing temple was the most important feature of the rulers of South India. South Indian rulers, they used to construct temples and you know one important characteristic is that all those temples look similar. All those temples look similar with 4 massive gates. With 4 massive gates. You see, whenever the rulers will construct a temple, they will construct 4 massive big gates and these gates can be viewed from distant places. So when people enter those places by looking those massive gates, they come to know that there a temple, we must visit it, right? So these gates helps the people to helps the people to go through the temple. Others people don't know the temple is there or not. So these gates were constructed with the purpose that it can be seen from distant places. And also one important characteristic is that 4 gates were there, right? And over the 4 gates, 4 bahans. 4 bahans were also constructed. Bahans means by which this gods used to go from here to there. So as you all know Bahan. So 4 bahans were also constructed. And also you have to study why the reign of Krishnadeva Raya declined. You know, when Krishnadeva Raya came to power, during his time there was tremendous development. But when the later rulers came to power, his dynasty declined because the later rulers were very weak. So it was taken over by the neighboring sultans. So তোমালোকে এটো নেক্সট চ্যাপ্টাৰটো কি আছিল? আৰ্কিটেকচাৰ, হাম্পিৰ আৰ্কিটেকচাৰ। সেই সময়ত আটাইতকৈ বিখ্যাত ৰজা আছিল কৃষ্ণদেৱ ৰায়া। সো কৃষ্ণদেৱ ৰায়া কি কৰিছিল? বহুত নতুন টেম্পলছ, চিটিজ, বহুত বেলেগ আৰ্কিটেকচাৰ কনষ্ট্ৰাক্ট কৰিছিল যাতে জাগাখিনি ফেমাছ হৈ যায়। আৰু ইয়াৰ উপৰিও another important characteristics is খেতি, এগ্ৰিকালচাৰ, বিকজ খেতি আছিল বেকবোন। সো এগ্ৰিকালচাৰ was a backbone. খেতি নহ'লে মানুহৰ একো নহয়। So as agriculture was occupation and also the backbone of the people, so তেওঁ খেতিৰ ওপৰতো চকু দিছিল। আৰু তুংগাভদ্ৰা ৰিভাৰৰ ওপৰত এটা দাম বনাইছিল, দাম সাজিছিল যাতে তুংগাভদ্ৰা নদীৰ পৰা ইয়ালৈ পানী আহি যায় বিনা কষ্টই, মানুহে যাতে কষ্ট কৰিব নালাগে, যাতে খেতিখিনি ভাল হয়, কাৰণ খেতি নহ'লে ইনকাম নহয়। So and also third point is temple, মন্দিৰ কৃষ্ণদেৱ ৰায়ৰ আণ্ডাৰত বহুতো মঠ মন্দিৰ সজোৱা হৈছিল আৰু এটা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্স আছিল সেই মন্দিৰবোৰত চাবাচোন সেই মন্দিৰবোৰ দেখিবলৈ নৰ্মেলি ছেমে হয় মন্দিৰৰ ষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰটো তোমালোকে যদি সাউথ ইণ্ডিয়া ভিজিট কৰিছা তোমালোকে চাবা সেই মন্দিৰৰ কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্সবোৰ ছেম প্ৰায়ভাগ ছেম কি আছিল মন্দিৰটোৰ চাৰিওফালে চাৰিটা ডাঙৰ ডাঙৰ গেট আছিল আৰু গেটবোৰ ইমানে ওখকৈ বনাইছিল যাতে বহুত দূৰৰ পৰাও মানুহে গম পায় যে ইয়াত এটা মন্দিৰ আছে আমি গৈ চাব লাগে গেটবোৰ ডাঙৰ ডাঙৰকৈ বনোৱাৰ উদ্দেশ্যটো এয়ে যাতে মানে বাহিৰৰ মানুহে যাতে গম পায় ইয়াতে মানে মন্দিৰ আছে ইমান ডাঙৰকৈ বনাইছিল আৰু আৰু ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্স আছিল গেটবোৰৰ এই চাৰিখন গেটৰ চাৰিটা কোণাত চাৰিটা বাহন দিছিল বাহন মানে তোমালোকে জানাই ভগৱানে যে বাহন ইউজ কৰে চ' এই বাহন সাজি দিছিল তাৰপিছত তোমালোকে পঢ়িব লাগিব কৃষ্ণদেৱ ৰায়ৰ পিছত যিবোৰ ৰুলাৰ্ছ এই ডাইনেষ্টিত আহিছিল তেওঁলোকৰ পতন কিয় হৈছিল কৃষ্ণদেৱ ৰায় থাকালৈকেতো বহুতো ইম্প্ৰুভমেণ্ট হৈছিল কিন্তু কৃষ্ণদেৱ ৰায় যোৱাৰ পাছত এই ডাইনেষ্টি কিয় পতন হৈছিল কাৰণ যিবোৰ ৰজা আহিছিল কৃষ্ণদেৱ ৰায়ৰ সেইবোৰ ৰজাবোৰ বহুত উইক আছিল চ' উইক থকা দেখি পেলাই ছাইডৰ বা নেইবাৰিং চুলতানছবোৰে এইটো টেক অভাৰ কৰি দিছিল So for today this is sufficient. Thank you for today's online live class. I will meet you soon. I hope you all understood. তোমালোকে চাগে সব বুজি পাইছা আৰু যদি বুজি নোপোৱা then please contact me. But don't get nervous. I want to say once again that this subject is very very scoring. You don't need to feel scared. If you think that history is boring, it will be boring. If you think that this is a scoring paper, if you study systematically, it will be very very easy for you. Please, this one you remove from your mind that this subject is very tough. If you think that it will be tough for you, think it is a scoring paper, you have to pass it, you have to clear it, you have to study, then it will be very easy for you. So, thank you. We'll meet you soon, and in my next class, I will tell you about the next 7 topics.